Hello, my name is Faye. I recently just finished reading Andy Weir's Project Hail Mary. I also very recently just watched the film adaptation. By very recently, I mean just about an hour and 30 minutes ago. And I am happy to report that I genuinely loved both. Obviously, I adored the book as the source material, and as someone who cares about adaptations, I felt like the movie was as faithful to the book as it could possibly be, and I walked away from it feeling incredibly satisfied. Whether in book or film form, Project Hail Mary is about friendship, connection, courage, bravery, and bravery not just in its traditional heroic sense, but the kind of bravery that comes from having someone to be brave for. For me, the biggest difference between the book and the film lies in how the story is told. The book leans heavily in the science, which makes perfect sense. Through Dr. Grace's internal monologue, we get very detailed explanations, mathematical calculations, step by step problem solving. It's very immersive and intellectually engaging, especially if you are into that kind of depth. The film, on the other hand, naturally pulls back from that. You don't get as much science, which is understandable given the medium. Instead, it chooses to focus more on the emotional core of the story, the themes of bravery and courage, the relationships, the connections. As much as I loved the book, which I truly, truly did, I am the first to admit that I'm not a science girly. While reading, I definitely understood the general ideas, but some of the very detailed scientific explanations just went over my head. What stayed with me though, even while reading, were the emotional beats and the relationships, and seeing the film focus on those aspects felt like it was highlighting the parts that I loved the most in the first place. Both versions definitely excel in different ways, but they ultimately tell the same powerful story. And for me, that's what made this such a special experience. Getting to engage with the story and getting to know the characters from very different perspectives or forms, and walking away loving each one for what it does best. Obviously, I highly recommend reading the book or watching the film, or better yet, doing both.